Have you ever stepped out of the shower thinking you were doing something good for yourself, only to notice your skin feels drier, itchier, or more tired than before? I used to believe my daily shower was a non-negotiable, part of staying clean, fresh, and ready for the day. But as the years went by, I realized that habit wasn't helping me as much as I thought. It's like Harold, my neighbor, who swore by his long, hot morning showers. He'd laugh about how it was the only thing keeping him young. Yet, he was constantly scratching at his arms and legs, never connecting the dots between his bathroom ritual and his skin troubles. Here's the good news. Fixing this isn't about giving up showers or feeling less clean. It's about making a few easy adjustments that protect your skin, boost your energy, and keep you safer in your own bathroom. And the best part? You might find yourself sleeping better, feeling more comfortable in your skin, and even lowering your risk of certain health issues, all from rethinking how often and how you shower. So tell me, how often do you shower now? Because you deserve habits that make you feel healthier, stronger, and more at ease every single day. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. Now, let's begin. 1. Skin sensitivity and aging. As the years pass, our bodies tell their stories in new ways. For many of us, the changes start quietly. A patch of dry skin here, a bit more sensitivity there, maybe an itch that lingers after a shower. We brush it off at first. Just part of getting older, we tell ourselves. But what most people don't realize is that the skin, our body's largest organ, transforms dramatically with age. And the habits that served us well when we were younger, like a long, hot daily shower, can slowly turn from harmless to harmful without us even knowing. Skin is a marvel of nature. It protects us from the outside world, keeps moisture in, regulates our temperature, and even serves as part of our immune system. When we were young, it could withstand a lot: hot water, harsh soaps, scrubbing until we felt really clean. It would bounce back quickly, replenishing its oils and repairing itself almost without effort. But after 60 or 70 years, skin isn't the same resilient shield it once was. It becomes thinner, less elastic, and far less capable of holding on to the natural oils that keep it soft, hydrated, and strong. Here's where daily showers can quietly start to chip away at your comfort and health. Hot water feels wonderful, but it strips away those precious oils faster than your skin can replace them. Harsh soaps do the same, sweeping away not only dirt but also the protective barrier your skin needs to stay supple. When that barrier is damaged day after day, your skin begins to dry out, crack, and lose its ability to fend off irritants and bacteria. It might seem like a small thing at first, a little tightness across your arms after you towel off, maybe some redness around the shins. But with time, this dryness can turn into persistent itching, flaking, and even painful fissures. And for older adults, those tiny cracks in the skin aren't just uncomfortable, they're gateways for infection. What starts as a minor irritation can become cellulitis or another serious bacterial infection, especially when the immune system isn't as quick to respond as it once was. Chronic inflammation from irritated skin can also worsen other health conditions, adding stress to a body that's already working harder to stay balanced. I think about Harold, an 81-year-old retired teacher I've known for years. Harold was a man of strict routines. Every morning, without fail, he would take a steaming hot shower, using the same strong-scented bar soap he'd used for decades. "Makes me feel alive," he'd say with a grin, scrubbing vigorously from head to toe. For a long time, he didn't think much of the dry patches that began to appear on his arms and legs. But over time, those patches spread, turning red and scaly, and the itching grew relentless. Nights became restless because he couldn't stop scratching. It was his daughter who finally convinced him to see a dermatologist. The diagnosis surprised him. His daily hot showers and heavy scrubbing were damaging his skin's natural barrier, stripping away the oils that kept it healthy. Without that protective layer, his skin was drying, cracking, and becoming inflamed. The doctor explained that what Harold thought was good hygiene was setting off a cycle of damage and irritation. The solution, thankfully, was simple but required a shift in mindset. Harold cut back his showers to 2 or 3 times a week, and when he did shower, he used lukewarm water instead of hot. He swapped his old soap for a gentle, fragrance-free cleanser made for sensitive skin. And perhaps most importantly, he began applying a thick moisturizer immediately after bathing. something he'd never done before. The doctor recommended creams and ointments with ceramides, hyaluronic acid, or glycerin to help replenish what his skin was missing. The results were remarkable. Within weeks, Harold's redness began to fade, the itching subsided, and his skin felt more comfortable than it had in years. He even admitted, with a chuckle, that his shorter, cooler showers were not bad at all, once he got used to them. If Harold's story sounds familiar, it's because so many of us fall into the same pattern. We keep the routines we've had for decades without stopping to ask if our body's needs have changed. But the truth is, they have. Our skin's ability to hold moisture and repair itself declines with age, and every choice we make, water temperature, type of cleanser, frequency of showers, either helps or hinders that process. So, what's the best way forward? First, rethink the idea that cleanliness requires a daily full-body shower. For most seniors, showering 2 or 3 times a week is enough to maintain hygiene, as long as you're giving extra attention to areas that need it daily, like the hands, face, underarms, and groin. On the days you don't shower, a quick sponge bath can keep you feeling fresh without stripping your skin. When you do shower, opt for lukewarm water instead of hot. Hot water feels soothing in the moment, especially on a chilly morning, but it pulls moisture from the skin too quickly. Lukewarm water cleans effectively without the same level of damage. Choose your cleanser carefully. Skip heavily fragranced bar soaps or body washes that contain harsh detergents. Look for gentle, fragrance-free products designed for sensitive or aging skin. These formulas clean without breaking down your skin's natural defenses. And perhaps the most important step, moisturize right after you towel off, while your skin is still slightly damp. This helps lock in hydration and supports your skin's barrier. Use a rich, emollient-based cream or ointment rather than a thin lotion, which often doesn't provide enough protection for older skin. Pay special attention to your arms, legs, back, and hands, areas that are prone to dryness. Small changes like these can feel insignificant at first, but they make a profound difference over time. Your skin becomes more comfortable, less prone to irritation, and better equipped to protect you from infections and environmental stressors. You might even find that you sleep better without the constant distraction of itching or discomfort. Think of it this way. Your skin has served you faithfully for decades, shielding you from the elements, helping regulate your body temperature, and acting as a barrier between you and the outside world. Now, it's time to return the favor. Treat it gently, give it the care it needs in this stage of life, and it will continue to protect you, quietly, steadfastly, every day. You don't have to give up the pleasure of a shower, nor do you have to resign yourself to dry, uncomfortable skin. By adjusting your routine, just as Harold did, you can preserve not only the health of your skin but also your overall well-being. Comfort in your skin, quite literally, is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself as you age. 2. Immune health and the skin's protective role. Most people think of the immune system as something deep inside the body, a network of white blood cells, antibodies, and complex responses working quietly to keep us healthy. But one of the most important parts of that system is actually on the outside, surrounding us every moment: our skin. For seniors, understanding this truth can make all the difference between feeling strong and resilient or struggling with lingering health issues that never quite go away. Your skin is far more than a covering. It's the body's first and largest line of defense, a living shield that protects you from bacteria, viruses, fungi, and countless irritants in the environment. It does this in several ways. First, there's the physical barrier itself, a tightly packed layer of cells that makes it hard for invaders to get in. Then there's the chemical barrier, a layer of natural oils and moisture, mixed with tiny amounts of antimicrobial compounds that can stop harmful microbes in their tracks. And finally, there's the microbiome, a community of beneficial bacteria living on your skin, quietly helping to keep the bad ones from taking over. In our younger years, the skin is remarkably good at repairing itself when it's disrupted. You can scrub hard, take long, hot showers, and use strong soaps, and it still manages to bounce back. But as we age, the skin's ability to recover slows down. The barrier becomes thinner and more fragile. Oil production drops, leaving the surface drier, and the microbiome becomes easier to disturb. This means that habits we've held onto for decades, like showering every single day with hot water and strong perfumed soaps, can weaken the skin's protective abilities rather than strengthen them. When we strip away the skin's natural oils too often, we don't just remove dirt, we remove part of its armor. And when we wash away the beneficial bacteria, we leave space for harmful microbes to move in. It's a bit like tearing down the walls of a fortress and then wondering why the enemies are getting through. For older adults, whose immune systems are already less efficient than they once were, that breach can be a serious problem. Small irritations, like a patch of redness or a bit of dryness, can quickly become a foothold for infection. A tiny crack in the skin on your hand might not seem like much, but for someone in their 70s or 80s, it can turn into cellulitis, a painful bacterial infection that sometimes requires antibiotics or even hospitalization. Fungal infections, too, can take advantage of weakened skin barriers, leading to persistent itching or rashes that are difficult to treat. Clara's story stays with me because it's such a clear example. At 77, Clara was known for her impeccable hygiene. She prided herself on taking a full shower every morning, using a strongly scented soap from head to toe. "It's how I start my day right," she'd say. But over the years, she began to notice stubborn rashes on her back and legs. At first, she thought it was just dry skin, but the irritation kept returning, sometimes turning into infections that required antibiotics. She was baffled. How could someone so careful about cleanliness have skin problems? When she finally mentioned it to her doctor, he asked about her bathing routine. Hearing about her daily showers with hot water and harsh soap, he explained that she was washing away not just dirt, but also the beneficial oils and bacteria that kept her skin healthy. The constant scrubbing was dismantling her natural defenses, making it easier for harmful bacteria to get in and cause trouble. With his guidance, Clara made changes. She reduced her showers to 3 times a week, focusing on quick daily washes of areas that needed it most, like her underarms, groin, and feet. She swapped her old soap for a gentle, fragrance-free cleanser designed for sensitive skin. And she began applying a moisturizer every day, even on the days she didn't shower, to help rebuild her skin's barrier. Within weeks, her rashes began to fade. A few months later, she realized she hadn't had a single infection since changing her routine. She still felt clean and fresh, but now her skin was comfortable and healthy instead of dry and irritated. The lesson here isn't that bathing is bad. It's that bathing needs to be strategic as we get older. The goal is to stay clean while keeping the skin's natural defenses intact. That means understanding the difference between necessary washing and overwashing. Most older adults don't need a full body shower every day unless they've been sweating heavily or have gotten dirty from an activity. Washing key areas daily, combined with a full shower 2 to 3 times a week, is usually enough. Water temperature matters, too. Lukewarm water cleans just as effectively as hot water without stripping oils as aggressively. Harsh scrubbing should be replaced with gentle washing using your hands or a soft cloth. And the choice of cleanser is crucial. Avoid products with heavy fragrances, strong detergents, or antibacterial labels, which often kill the good bacteria along with the bad. Instead, look for mild pH-balanced cleansers formulated for sensitive or aging skin. Moisturizing is the other half of the equation. Applying a rich cream or ointment after bathing helps seal in moisture and restore the oils that act as part of your immune defense. Ingredients like ceramides, glycerin, and hyaluronic acid are especially good for replenishing what aging skin naturally loses. Think of it as reinforcing the walls of your fortress so they can keep standing strong. Another tip that many overlook is to be gentle when drying off. Rubbing vigorously with a towel can damage fragile skin and create tiny tears. Patting yourself dry is kinder and leaves a bit of moisture on the skin for your moisturizer to lock in. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. It's also wise to pay attention to signs that your skin's defenses are struggling. Persistent redness, itching, flaking, or sores that don't heal quickly are all cues to take a step back and evaluate your routine. Sometimes, these are early warnings that the barrier has been compromised and needs time and gentler care to recover. For seniors, protecting immune health isn't just about flu shots or vitamins. It's also about the daily choices we make that either support or undermine our body's first line of defense. Your skin has been working for you since the day you were born, taking the hits so the rest of your body doesn't have to. Treating it with care now isn't a luxury. It's an essential part of staying healthy and independent. Clara's experience showed her, and shows all of us, that clean doesn't have to mean stripped bare. It means maintaining the balance that keeps your skin working for you, not against you. By showering a bit less often, using milder cleansers, Keeping the water warm but not hot, and moisturizing daily, you can protect not only your skin but your overall immune health. And perhaps the most reassuring part is that these changes are simple. You don't have to invest in fancy treatments or overhaul your entire life. Just a few small adjustments to your bathing routine can mean fewer infections, less irritation, and more comfort in your skin. It's a way of honoring the body that's carried you this far and giving it the best chance to keep protecting you for years to come. 3. Fall risk and bathroom safety. As we grow older, we learn to respect the quiet dangers in life, the ones that don't announce themselves with flashing lights or loud warnings, but instead hide in familiar places. For many seniors, the bathroom is one of those places. We think of it as a private, safe corner of our homes, a space for comfort and self-care. Yet, for people over 65, it can be one of the most hazardous rooms we step into each day. And when daily showers become a fixed habit, they can quietly increase the risk of a fall, sometimes with life-changing consequences. Falls aren't just small accidents when you're in your 70s or 80s. They can be the beginning of a long, difficult road. A single slip can result in a fractured hip, broken wrist, or head injury that takes months to heal, often robbing you of independence. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, falls are the leading cause of injury-related deaths among older adults. The bathroom, with its slick floors, sharp corners, and hard surfaces, is one of the most common settings for these injuries. So, how exactly do frequent showers contribute to this danger? There are a few ways. First, hot showers can cause a temporary drop in blood pressure. When the warm water dilates your blood vessels, blood moves away from your brain toward your skin, and you may feel lightheaded or unsteady when stepping out. That's a risky moment, especially when you're standing on wet tiles or a loose bath mat. Second, frequent showers simply mean more time spent navigating these slippery, steamy environments. Every additional trip into that space increases your exposure to potential hazards. Then there's the factor of fatigue. If you shower early in the morning when you've just woken up, or late at night when you're tired, your coordination and alertness are lower. Combine that with soap residue on the floor, steam fogging your vision, and the need to step over a tub edge or navigate a tight shower stall, and you've got a recipe for a dangerous fall. I'll never forget Walter's story. At 83, Walter was a man of strong routines. He'd been starting each day with a hot shower for as long as he could remember. Even in the middle of winter, when the bathroom air was cold, he'd let the hot water run until steam filled the room, saying it was the only thing that made his joints feel loose. One January morning, he followed the same routine. Steam fogged up his glasses, and he didn't notice that his bath mat had shifted slightly. As he stepped out, his foot landed halfway on the mat and halfway on the wet tile. In an instant, he slipped, landing hard on his side. The pain was immediate and sharp. He'd fractured his pelvis. That one moment changed everything. Walter went from living independently to spending 6 weeks in a rehabilitation center, learning to walk with a cane. The recovery was slow, and the emotional toll was just as heavy as the physical one. "I didn't think something as simple as taking a shower could take me down like that," he told me later. But it did. When Walter came home, his family insisted on making changes. They installed sturdy grab bars in the shower and near the toilet. A shower chair was added so he could sit while washing, reducing the need to balance on wet surfaces. They replaced the small, slippery bath mat with a large non-slip one that stayed firmly in place. Walter also adjusted his shower routine. No more scalding hot water, and he began showering in the early afternoon instead of right after waking up. That small shift meant he was more alert, his muscles were warmed up from moving around, and he was less likely to feel lightheaded. These changes restored much of Walter's confidence. "I still enjoy my showers," he said, "but now I feel safe doing it. That's worth more than sticking to the old way." His story holds a lesson for all of us. Safety in the bathroom isn't about giving up the routines we enjoy, but about adapting them to protect the life we've worked hard to preserve. For seniors, that means rethinking how often and when we shower, and making the bathroom a safer place to be. The first step is awareness. Recognize that the combination of water, soap, and smooth surfaces creates an environment where slips are easy and recovery is hard. Reducing the frequency of showers to 2 or 3 times a week not only helps your skin and circulation, but it also means fewer opportunities for a fall to happen. On non-shower days, a quick sponge bath or targeted wash of key areas can keep you feeling fresh without the risk. Next, think about temperature. Warm or lukewarm water is much gentler on your body than very hot water, which can cause those dangerous drops in blood pressure. Avoid rushing from the warmth of the shower into a cooler room. Have a towel or robe within easy reach so you can stay warm while drying off slowly and steadily. Bathroom safety equipment is another layer of protection. Grab bars aren't just for hospitals. They're for anyone who values independence and wants to keep it. A shower chair can make washing easier and safer, especially on days when you feel tired or dizzy. Non-slip mats inside and outside the shower are essential, and you should replace them if they show signs of wear or lose their grip. Lighting also matters more than many realize. A dimly lit bathroom makes it harder to see water on the floor or a shifted mat. Good lighting reduces these risks and helps you feel more confident moving around. Finally, timing your showers can make a big difference. Choose a time of day when you feel your most steady and alert. For many people, that's mid-morning or early afternoon, after you've had breakfast, moved around a bit, and your muscles and balance are warmed up. Small changes like these can add years of safe independence to your life. A fall can happen in seconds, but the consequences can last for months or even forever. By reducing how often you put yourself in risky situations, adjusting the details of your routine, and adding a few safety features, you dramatically lower the chances of that kind of accident. Walter's accident was a harsh reminder, but it didn't take away his dignity or his enjoyment of life. It gave him a renewed sense of control, because now, he knows he's doing everything he can to prevent it from happening again. And that's the real message here. You don't have to stop enjoying your daily comforts. You just have to make them work with you, not against you. A shower should be a refreshing, peaceful moment in your day, not a source of danger. With a few thoughtful adjustments, it can remain exactly that, for as many years as you want to keep enjoying it. 4. Supporting healthy circulation in aging. One of the less talked about changes that comes with age happens quietly inside us, in the vessels and pathways that carry our lifeblood. Our circulatory system, the heart, arteries, and veins that have kept us going through decades of work, family, and life's ups and downs, gradually begins to shift. The walls of our blood vessels lose some of their elasticity, the heart pumps a little less efficiently, and blood flow can slow in ways we might not notice at first. These changes are a normal part of aging, but they make certain everyday habits more important to manage. Habits like how we shower. Most people don't think of a shower as something that affects the heart or circulation. But for older adults, it can. Warm water can be a wonderful thing. It relaxes muscles, eases stiffness, and can even help blood move more freely by causing the vessels to widen, a process called vasodilation. That's why a warm shower can feel so comforting, especially on a cold morning. The trouble comes when the heat is too high, the shower too long, or the frequency too often. For someone in their 30s or 40s, the body can usually adjust quickly to changes in temperature or blood vessel dilation. But in our 70s or 80s, the body's regulatory systems aren't as quick to respond. After a long, hot shower, blood vessels remain expanded for a while, which can lower blood pressure. If the drop is significant, it can cause dizziness, lightheadedness, or even fainting. And when that happens in the bathroom, where floors are hard, surfaces are slippery, and there's little to grab onto, the risk of a dangerous fall skyrockets. Even if you don't faint, that sudden dizziness can make stepping out of the shower a moment of real danger. And this isn't just a maybe for people with known heart problems. These effects can happen to anyone, but they're especially risky for older adults, people on blood pressure medication, or those with conditions that already affect circulation. George's story is a good example. At 79, George had been a widower for several years and liked to keep his days structured. Twice a day without fail, he took long hot showers, once in the morning to wake up, and again in the evening to wash the day away. For decades, it had been his ritual, a way to feel both refreshed and comforted. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. But as time went on, George began noticing strange spells. He'd step out of the shower and feel unsteady, as though the floor had shifted beneath him. Sometimes he'd have to grip the sink to steady himself. Once, he nearly stumbled into the wall. At first, he chalked it up to age or fatigue. But the spells became more frequent, and one evening he felt so lightheaded that he had to sit on the bathroom floor until the sensation passed. When George mentioned it to his doctor, the explanation came quickly. The combination of high heat, long duration, and frequent showers was putting unnecessary strain on his circulatory system. The hot water was lowering his blood pressure, and because of his age, his body wasn't able to adjust fast enough. The doctor warned that one fainting episode in the shower could result in a fall serious enough to land him in the hospital, or worse. George took the advice seriously. He cut back to showering 3 or 4 times a week instead of twice a day. He kept the water warm rather than hot, and he shortened his showers so they lasted 5 to 7 minutes instead of 15. Almost immediately, the dizzy spells eased. Within a few weeks, they stopped altogether. "I didn't realize my showers were doing that to me," he told me later. "I thought they were helping me feel good. Turns out, they were taking more out of me than they were giving." His story is an important reminder that small, everyday habits can have a big impact on our well-being, especially as we age. Showers are no longer just about getting clean. They're about managing comfort, safety, and the body's changing needs. If you've ever stepped out of the shower and felt even a moment of lightheadedness, it's worth rethinking your routine. A few small changes can make all the difference. First, adjust the temperature. Lukewarm water is still pleasant and soothing, but it doesn't dilate blood vessels as aggressively as hot water does. This helps keep your blood pressure more stable. If you miss the feeling of heat, you can keep the water slightly warmer at the beginning and then lower it a few degrees halfway through. Second, shorten the duration. 5 to 10 minutes is usually enough for a thorough wash without overtaxing your body. Spending 20 minutes under hot water might feel relaxing, but it's harder on your heart and circulation than you think. Third, reduce frequency. Most older adults don't need to shower daily. 2 to 4 showers a week are often enough to maintain hygiene, especially if you wash key areas, like underarms, face, and groin, on non-shower days. Fewer showers mean fewer opportunities for those dizzy spells, and it also benefits your skin, which tends to become drier with age. Fourth, think about your safety environment. Even with a perfect temperature and duration, there's always a chance of feeling momentarily unsteady. Non-slip mats inside and outside the shower, grab bars, and a shower chair can make a big difference in keeping you safe. Finally, time your showers for when you're most alert and physically steady. For many people, mid-morning or early afternoon is best, after your body has warmed up from moving around, but before you get tired. Avoid showering immediately after a big meal or right after waking up, when your blood pressure and circulation may already be in flux. Your circulatory health is central to everything: your energy, balance, comfort, and even your brain function. A thoughtful shower routine can support that health instead of undermining it. It's not about giving up something you enjoy, but about making it work for you at this stage in your life. George's change wasn't dramatic. No fancy equipment, no costly treatments. Just a few small adjustments to a daily habit. Yet the payoff was huge. No more dizzy spells, more confidence moving around the bathroom, and a quieter peace of mind knowing he wasn't taking unnecessary risks. When you think about it, showers are one of the few times each day when you're both physically vulnerable and completely alone. That's why the way you approach them matters so much. By moderating the temperature, shortening the time, and choosing the right moment in your day, you protect not only your circulation but also your independence. The truth is, the best showers for seniors aren't the hottest or the longest. They're the ones that leave you feeling refreshed, steady on your feet, and ready to move through the rest of your day with comfort and confidence. And that's something worth holding on to. 5. Nurturing mental and emotional well-being. For many older adults, a shower is more than just a way to get clean. It's a small ritual that holds emotional weight. The warm water, the steam curling around the room, the quiet moments alone, these can feel like a daily sanctuary. In a life that may feel slower, more predictable, or even lonelier than before, the shower can become one of the few places where you feel truly in control. You decide when it starts, how long it lasts, and how it feels. That sense of control and comfort is powerful, especially in times of emotional change. But here's the thing: when our emotions are heavy, grief, loneliness, stress, it's easy for routines like showering to swing too far in either direction. Some people begin to avoid showers altogether, seeing them as unnecessary effort when they're feeling down. Others take them more and more often, chasing the fleeting comfort of hot water like a balm for the soul. Both extremes can carry risks. Overshowering, especially with hot water, can strip the skin of protective oils, leading to dryness, irritation, and even infection. It can also put strain on circulation and balance, increasing the risk of falls. On the other hand, neglecting showers entirely can impact skin health, increase infection risk, and subtly chip away at self-esteem. There's something about feeling fresh and clean that lifts the spirit, even if we don't notice it in the moment. Sharon's story is a poignant example. At 72, Sharon had always been a woman of routine. Monday was laundry day, Friday was her trip to the market, and every morning started with a single, steady shower. Then her husband of nearly 50 years passed away. In the weeks that followed, she found herself adrift. The house felt too quiet, meals lost their flavor, and the calendar no longer seemed to matter. She began showering 3, sometimes 4 times a day, not because she was dirty, but because the heat and the water made her feel, for just a few minutes, less empty. But over time, she started noticing changes. Her skin, once smooth and healthy, became tight and itchy. She felt lightheaded after stepping out of the shower. And the extra time in the bathroom meant she was isolating herself even more from friends and activities that could have helped her heal. When her daughter gently pointed this out, Sharon realized that what had started as comfort was slowly becoming a problem. Her solution wasn't to give up showers entirely. Far from it. Instead, she worked with her doctor and a grief counselor to create a balanced routine. She limited showers to once every other day, kept the water at a warm, not hot, temperature, and replaced some of her comfort showers with other soothing activities. Listening to her favorite old records, taking gentle walks in the garden, calling her sister for a chat. Sharon also joined a local support group, which gave her a safe place to talk about her grief. The simple act of sharing her story helped her feel less alone, and over time, she no longer relied on the shower as her only emotional escape. Her skin healed, her dizzy spells disappeared, and she found new ways to nurture her spirit. This balance is important for everyone, but especially for older adults who may be dealing with loss, isolation, or big life changes. The shower can and should remain a source of comfort, but it works best when it's part of a wider toolkit for mental and emotional well-being. If you find yourself showering much more or much less than you used to, it may be worth asking yourself why. Is it about cleanliness, or is it about something deeper? And if it's the latter, there's no shame in that. Our emotions often sneak into our habits without us realizing it. The key is to notice, and to give yourself other healthy outlets. Reading, gardening, music, time with friends, even small creative projects. In the end, nurturing your emotional health is about balance. Meeting your need for comfort while still protecting your body and maintaining your connection to the world. Showers can be a part of that balance, a gentle thread woven into the fabric of your days. But they're just one piece of the picture. The rest comes from finding other ways to soothe your heart, engage your mind, and remind yourself that even in life's quieter chapters, there is warmth, connection, and meaning waiting for you. When you step back and look at the bigger picture, it's remarkable how something as ordinary as showering can affect so many parts of your life. Throughout this conversation, we've walked through 6 powerful reasons to rethink your shower habits, not to take away your comfort, but to help you enjoy it in a way that protects your health, safety, and well-being. We've talked about the skin, that incredible barrier that becomes more delicate with age. We've looked at how overwashing can strip away natural oils, invite irritation, and even open the door to infections. We've explored your skin's role as your first immune defense, and how preserving its balance of healthy bacteria helps you stay stronger against illness. We've tackled the risk of falls and slips, especially in a wet bathroom where balance can be more fragile, and how small adjustments like cooler water, shorter showers, and non-slip mats can make a world of difference. We've also touched on circulation, how the body's natural changes with age can make long, hot showers lead to dizziness or sudden blood pressure drops. Then we looked at the emotional side, the way showering can be a place of peace and control, but how it's important to keep that habit in balance so it serves you rather than risks your health. All of this comes together into one simple truth. Small, mindful changes in how you shower can have big impacts on your comfort, safety, and vitality. It might mean showering a little less often, choosing lukewarm over hot water, adding a sturdy grab bar, or moisturizing right after you towel off. These aren't sacrifices, they're investments in your quality of life. Think of it this way. Each time you step into the shower, you have the opportunity to care for yourself in a way that's not just about feeling clean, but about staying strong, steady, and well. You deserve that. And by making these adjustments, you're not only protecting your body, you're also creating space to enjoy your days with more ease, confidence, and comfort. When you think about it, the shower isn't just a place to wash away the day. It's a moment to care for yourself in a way that can truly shape your health and comfort. We've talked about how adjusting your shower frequency can help protect your skin, strengthen your immune defenses, reduce your risk of falls, support healthy circulation, and even nurture your emotional well-being. These aren't big, complicated changes, just small shifts that add up to a better quality of life. I'd love to know what stood out most to you today. Have you noticed any changes in your skin or energy when you shower more or less often? Your experiences can help others who are facing the same questions, so please share them in the comments. And if you found these tips helpful, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and tap the notification bell so you won't miss what's coming next. Remember, taking care of yourself doesn't have to mean doing more. It's about doing what matters most for your body and your life. Even the smallest changes can help you feel stronger, safer, and more at ease every single day. You deserve that.